Hi, and welcome to Stronger Families. I'm your host, Chris Jackson, and look who's with me, my good friends, and I need them because I don't know real estate, and they do. Bob and Sandy Jamison, the Jamison Team, Tuscana Properties, San Jose. Hi, you guys.
Hi, Chris.
Good afternoon, Chris.
Hey, it's great to hear you guys, and what I like to do on this show is help families, and a lot of families struggle, like I do, with real estate choices, and I tend to wait. I tend to freeze and do nothing. And when I look back at my real estate history, me freezing and doing nothing has hurt me. Have you heard that before?
Yes, we have.
Why do people do it, and what's the solution?
Well, that's a great question, Chris. What I find is people often try to time the market, and they let fear get in their way of making important decisions. Instead of looking at the data and the trends, they react emotionally. And so what we like to do is we like to help educate both our buyers and our sellers about what is really happening in the real estate market in terms of volume of sales, units, pricing, and interest rates so that we can help them make better informed decisions.
That sounds good. My guests are Bob and Sandy Jamison, the Jamison Team, Tuscana Properties. It's Chris Jackson. Yeah, that freezing, I don't feel as afraid after talking with you. That's why I would like people to contact you guys to at least talk to you once about it, because I felt safer after talking with you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And one of the things that will definitely make you feel good, Chris, is that unlike most agents, we're able to sell people's homes faster. We can sell them for more money, and also your home is more likely to sell because we already have the buyers.
And for our buyers, we're able to help them find the home of their dreams that fits their price range with a comfortable payment, and we can show them how the market's going to grow over time and help kind of relay some of their fears that they may have about buying a home.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about being scared with regard to real estate. And if you're listening and you haven't been scared, I don't know where you've been, because I get scared all the time. Should I buy? Should I not? What if? Hypothetical. I drive myself crazy overthinking it. And you said one of the ways you take away the fear is that you have the buyers already. And I know that if there's an agreed upon price and it doesn't sell for that you guys buy it. You have that guarantee. That's how sure you are.
That's right, Chris, because unlike most agents, we already have a database of ready-to-go buyers. So if for some reason we don't have your buyer, we're going to focus all of our marketing efforts towards finding the right buyer for your home. And we're able to do this through some of our unique programs we offer, such as our Guaranteed Sale program, which you mentioned, our lease buyout program, and on top of that, our 18-month buyer satisfaction guarantee.
Okay, now, a lot of people know me. My guests, by the way, Bob and Sandy Jamison, the Jamison Team, Tuscana Properties. And a lot of people, they hear the name Chris Jackson, they think, oh, he's a guitar player, classic rock, KFOX. And so I wanted to get this out of the way that we all had talked about our favorite bands. And we had sung Tuscana, Tuscana for Rosanna. When I heard Rosanna, I thought Tuscana, but then we changed it to Tuscana. But then we're talking about rock and roll. And so I thought maybe you guys could share some of the concerts you've been to or some of your favorite songs or bands.
Oh, so Chris, definitely Def Leppard is my favorite band. I've always been into
80s.
Yeah, definitely 80s. I've always been into the 80s hair bands, and I saw them in Sacramento at the Expo Center, and I saw them as well in Fresno when I was really young. And I'm really excited to see them at the stadium tour. Did you hear about the stadium tour? It got rescheduled this year to June of next year, but Motley Crue, Poison, and Joan Jett are all going to be there. Like some of my favorites.
Woo! Sponsored by Aquanet.
Definitely. Get out those lighters and Zippos.
That's a hairspray reference for people who don't remember Aquanet.
That's right.
What about Sandy? That's Bob.
Chris, I've always been a fan of the Scorpions and Ozzy Osbourne. I saw them in Fresno back in the 90s, and I still can't get enough of them.
Oh, that's good. Okay, now that we hear you guys like the Scorpions and Def Leppard, now people are thinking, hey, I'll call them. For some reason, once you go, hey, they're like me. So my guests are Bob and Sandy Jamison, the Jamison Team, Tuscana Properties. Man, I'm telling you, if you've been scared to move forward with selling or buying, there's a danger to that. Sandy, you were telling me that you could wait too long, and then what?
Yeah, well, if you wait too long, you can certainly miss out on a good market opportunity. You might miss out on some of the great low interest rates that we have out there for our buyers. And for sellers, if they wait, then you never know what's going to happen with the market. We don't have a crystal ball. It might go up or it might go down. And whether you're a buyer or a seller, you might miss out on an opportunity to get the best pricing that works for you.
My guests are Bob and Sandy Jamison, the Jamison Team, Tuscana Properties. I had the pleasure of meeting them. We were singing songs together. I had the guitar out. It's Chris Jackson. And I just think you guys are great. But what really strikes me about you guys is how reassuring you are to your clients and how reassuring it was to me to just have you there. And I thought, well, I don't feel as scared now about buying and selling real estate. You mentioned to me the catch-22 of being stuck with two homes. Why does that happen to some people, and why won't it happen if they're with you guys?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if a buyer is interested in purchasing one of our listings, we can guarantee the sale of their existing home, or we'll buy it ourselves. So that's what helps solve the dilemma or the catch-22 of being stuck with two homes. And if you couple that with our buyer satisfaction guarantee, which means that if they don't love the home that they purchased through us, we will buy it back or sell it for free as well. So it really takes out a lot of the risk and fear about buying and selling a property simultaneously.
Bob and Sandy Jamison, the Jamison Team, Tuscana Properties, my guest. Now, it's Chris Jackson. I'm here in the South Bay in San Jose. This is a hot market. You guys have a lot of experience in this market. You have a lot of buyers waiting already. We've talked about a couple of things that separate you guys from the rest, but there's new people tuning in right now. Maybe you could explain that again.
Yeah, Chris, so unlike most agents, we are able to sell homes faster. We sell them for more money, and your home is more likely to sell because we already have the buyers.
So the buyers are just they're people that know you, and they know what you can deliver, and they're waiting. Is that it?
Yes, we have over 7,000 buyers that have contacted our office in the last few years that are actively looking for homes, and they either called on one of our listings because we marketed that listing directly to them, or they called about our educational programs such as down payment assistance or all the efforts we make to get people their first home. Or they heard about our buyer satisfaction guarantee, which removes all the risk out of buying a home.
Bob and Sandy Jamison, my guests, real estate experts. And you're saying it's a huge advantage that you already have the buyers.
Absolutely. Just this past Saturday, I sold a house the morning I listed it. I called a buyer that I knew looking in the area, and I had it sold by the evening. So within one day, I had that property under contract.
And it was great because the sellers didn't have to have anybody tour their house. It was totally a COVID-safe sale. It was easy, and it was risk-free.
And it was full price.
Wow. So if you're thinking about selling your home, the idea that it could be done that way, that really appeals to people. It sounds like it's less stressful and it's drama-free or something to me.
Absolutely. We want to make the process as simple as possible for our sellers. That's why we have so many programs out there. So whatever their challenge is, either as a seller or a buyer, we have solutions. And we're a very problem solution oriented company. So whatever their challenge is, we have some answers. We have solutions. We have resources to help them through it. And that's where we are their consultant and we are their advisors, and we're there to help them ease this process so it happens painlessly and smoothly, so that at the end of the day, they get a great price and they sell quickly and they can be on their way.
Right. So what we did, Chris, was when COVID first hit in March, we came out with a COVID-19 safe seller program where sellers, we can sell their home without buyers even having to go into the house. And if the buyers do need to go into the house, we have all the safety measures in place to make sure that buyers and sellers are safe throughout these interesting times.
That's great. That's Bob and his wife, Sandy, the Jamison Team, Bob and Sandy Jamison, Tuscana Properties. I'm Chris Jackson. Maybe I end with this, because one of the most stressful things I think people can go through is if you're liquidating a house after a death in the family, maybe your parents pass away, and then the siblings are liquidating the house, and they're arguing about, do we put some money into it before we sell it, or do we sell it as is? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, Chris, that's a common question that we answer almost every single day. what's my home worth as is versus fixed up, and what would it take if we fix it up, and what could I get for it? And so we run that analysis for all of our sellers, and then we go out and we get the bids to show them what it would take in order to bring it up to date and up to market in order to get that highest and best price. And then we run the numbers to figure out if the return on investment is there. And then on top of that, we also have a help program, our home enhancement listing program, where if they want to do the repairs so that they can get that higher price, but let's say they are short on cash, maybe they have a lot of equity but not very much liquidity, we can actually loan them the money and pay for all that upfront renovation, and then we get reimbursed on the back end, and that's through our help program.
Wow. Well, I'm glad to hear you guys have encountered that before, because, I mean, you have maybe a husband and wife, and they're selling, and then the one spouse wants to put in the money to get the price up, and the other one doesn't. But you run the numbers, and then hopefully they make the right conclusion at that point. I would think it's almost always worth it to put money in and get the higher price.
Most of the time it's worth it, but there have been a few instances where it wasn't worth it. It was just simpler to sell it as is and sell it fast and get multiple offers, and then let the buyers bid it up and see what it's worth. So there's advantages both ways.
Yeah, because one of the things we do, Chris, is we first sit down with them and find out what is their dream, what is their next step, what are their goals with real estate, and then we figure out the best plan for them.
Yeah, that sounds so good. It's Bob and his wife Sandy and the Jamison team. Well, we kind of ended on that note about whether to put money in to fix it up, to sell it or not. I suppose if you're leaning towards sell as is, because I just don't want to fix it up, I either want to go all the way or not, and then it's kind of like, sounds stressful to me. I'd rather just sell it as is. I know that's going to mean we don't get as high of a price. But you guys have some buyers. You say you have buyers already. Maybe, but you would say, okay, I got a buyer that's willing to buy it like it is.
Exactly, Chris, because we've got a pool of investors in our database that are ready to buy homes today.
And some of them might say, I'll take it as is.
And they'll pay cash.
Why would they want to do that? Because they don't need the kitchen and the bath to impress them. They know value when they see it. Is that why?
Exactly. So we work with investors that can see the value in all homes, and they know how to execute on a plan so that the existing seller gets a good price, and they also get a good return on their investments.
Well, you guys give me a lot of confidence when I talk to you. I say go to Bob and Sandy Jamison. That's why I wanted them to help you. If you're stressing out over buying or selling or real estate, trying to time the market and all that, just hand it over to them and let them figure it out. They have buyers ready to go. That's the number one thing they said that separates them from the rest. But, here in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley, they've sold a lot of homes. I look at it as stress. Do you hear that a lot? To me, it sounds like stress. And when you guys come in, you relieve the stress.
That's right, Chris. Moving and selling a house is always a stressful time. And so half of what we do is practically psychology and consultation and helping people through it and show them how easy it can be. And we help project manage it. And it really takes a lot of the stress out of the process because we understand what they're going through and we give them the resources they need in order to get through these times and then come out on the other side much happier and better off for it.
Okay, so Bob and Sandy Jamison, if you're concerned about COVID and safety with that, they've got that handled. They know how to handle those concerns as a buyer or seller, whichever you are. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up with Bob and Sandy Jamison? I mean, is there anything you two want to say?
I would just say, give us a call. We want to hear from you. There's no obligation, no pressure. We'd love to come out and meet with you and talk to you about your situation, what goals you have, what you're trying to solve. We'll take a look at your property. We'll give you an assessment and evaluation, and we'll let you know what we can do for you. And we'd love to meet you. So give us a call, 408-819-SOLD, or hit our website up at sandyhasbuyers.com.
Bob and Sandy Jamison, Sandy, her husband, Bob, it's been wonderful getting to know you guys singing Tuscana, Rosanna, singing your new jingle that we worked on together. All the best, and Bob and Sandy Jamison, Tuscana Properties, thank you.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.